We are all familiar with many of the creatures within the Fallout universe, but today we are going to be having a look at some of the new terrifying creatures that will be added in Fallout 76. Stay tuned. So of course, Bethesda recently showed off Fallout 76 with some spicy new gameplay. After managing to finally calm myself down, I was able to pick the trailer apart, and within it, there are obviously some familiar creatures and some terrifying new additions. Starting with number 5, we have the rather peculiar orange-eyed bug. That's probably not its scientific name, but we'll go with it anyway. Maybe not so terrifying, but more cute in some weird, twisted way. But who knows what this cheeky chap could look like in broad daylight. There has to be more to this tale, as its appearance from what we have seen isn't fooling anyone. According to NoClip's documentary on the making of Fallout 76, it is stated that this creature is half moth and half man. If that's the case, then holy fudge knuckles, run for the hills, my fellow Vault Dwellers. I do not want to stumble across this guy in the middle of the night, that's for sure. Now, everyone hates wasps, right? Of course you do. When Mother Nature created the wasp, it was just a big fuck to every living creature on planet Earth. When us silly humans decided to have a nuclear war, this monstrosity was created. This is literally hatred and all things bad in a nutshell. I mean, the rad scorpion was bad, but this is a whole different beast. A giant wasp wasn't enough for Bethesda, no, so they decided to add a freaking hive on its back as well. Not only do you have to deal with the big bad mother wasp, you also have to try and fight through an angry nest of regular wasps as well. No, thank you. Now, of course, we had to add another terrifying nighttime encounter. Oh boy, this humanoid monstrosity is apparently called a crone. Probably the most unpleasant on the list. It will give a fair few Vault Dwellers a scare of their life if they run into it on their evening stroll. On first glance, it kind of reminds me of a Wendigo from Until Dawn. Judging by its creepy figure, it will be quite slow moving, but we can't tell for sure. But what we can tell is if this thing slaps you with its gnarly claws, it's going to leave a nasty scratch. So far, my advice is, don't wander around at night. Coming in at number 2, we have the Grafton Monster. This absolute beast will be a menace for any survivor looking to start again. Judging by its looks and its behavior, it reminds me of only one thing. Hey now, you're an all-star. This creature would obviously serve the purpose of trying to ruin your settlements when the inevitable horde of God knows what descends upon us right when everything is going so well. You know what I'm thinking? Before we get to number 1, here are a few honourable mentions. So at number 1, we have the Scorch Beast. I mean, that name can't mean anything good. This looks like the Skyrim dragon equivalent, but for Fallout. The reason for me giving it the number 1 spot is because, in my opinion, it just looks very cool. Obviously, it won't appear cool when it leaves you all in ashes, but we can admire it from afar, I guess. It spits blue waves of energy from its mouth, so kind of like, spoiler alert, the Night King's dragon in Game of Thrones. This looks like one of those creatures that will come and find you instead of us finding it. In other words, we are going to need some serious firepower and defenses to take down this flying Skyrim reference. Anyway, those in my opinion are the top 5 new terrifying creatures that were showcased at E3. And by the way, I've already pre-ordered my copy, and so should you. Well, what are you waiting for? Check the link in the description to get some tasty pre-order bonuses. Which creature would you most certainly not like to run into during your adventures? Comment your thoughts in the comment section down below. I do hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, be sure to be a top fellow and leave a like, and don't forget to simply subscribe for more. Stay splendid, folks.